Hi. Thanks for coming. Today I wanted to talk about meditation because somebody asked me about it. And so I went and looked on the web to see what kind of definitions there were. And really, no one seems to have captured the essence of meditation from a technical standpoint. They do the, what do you call it, the forms of meditation. They talk about having a straight back and sitting in an asana or posture, which is all correct. But then they don't talk about what the effect of meditation should bring into your mind. They talk about it being calming and this and that. Let me tell you what the technical definition of meditation is. Technical meditation is that you think a thought to the exclusion of all others for a long time. Long time means minutes or hours without a break. And I'm going to give you a little bit of information about the law of attraction and how that works into this. The law of attraction, everybody thinks, is a really hot item in some spiritual circles, but it's been around for a very long time. And many sects of the Buddhists and many sects of Hindus have taken it to some extraordinary lengths. Sometime I may talk about that. Anyway, but the technique for meditation is that you think of a single thought. It may be a word, it may be a phrase, it may be a picture of somebody you saw that you want to emulate. A saint or a sage, or a sound. It could be Om, or even on anything that you choose. The definition doesn't say what you meditate on, only that you have a thought, a single thought. That single thought is repeated over and over in the mind, and they give the image of oil being poured from one bottle to another in a continuous stream. And so that's what your thought is like. It's like the oil dropping out of a bottle in a long, thin, without a break. That's the technical definition according to Patanjali. So, what can you expect when you do that? Patanjali talks about, of the 8 limbs of yoga, that the 4th is pranayama. So the breath has to be mastered normally when you are going into meditation. So you start with concentration, because let me give you an example. If you think of a monkey, the monkey's in your mind. But maybe you remembered, oh, I saw it last year on the boardwalk. Like that, your mind goes away. So if you're going to think of a monkey in a meditation, you'd be saying the word monkey, monkey, monkey. Okay. You might say a strong, if you want to have peace in the world, you say Om Shanti. Okay, some of the Sanskrit words have a power in and of themselves. In other words, they vibrate with some universal constant. And you bring that into your mind, and you're saying Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. That repetition brings the effect. It's because the mind is following the repetition over and over again. You can meditate on the breath. Bring the breath up the top of the back of the spine over to the top, then breathe out. Okay. That's the Soham mantra. I have a video on that. You can combine it with the law of attraction. When the breath comes to this point, image what you want to make in your life. Make it appear. The law of attraction says whatever you think of, long enough and hard enough, will appear in your life. If you want a car, you image a car. Okay, as you breathe out, you see the car manifesting in your driveway. You see yourself getting in the car. You see yourself accelerating. But after the meditation, there's a better times for meditation. There's what's called Sandhya, where at sunset and at sunrise, it's better for meditation. Usually meditation time, you have to have the spine erect. These are all things that you have to take into account. Your mind is distracted by increments. Okay, you think of the monkey, you think of the seashore, you think of when you were there last year. By increments, you go away from the thought. So you bring the mind, the ability to back into focus on one thought by increments as well. Having the spine erect is one thing. If you can't have your spine erect, lay flat on the floor. There's different ways to modify yourself into your present situation to get the effect. But that's what meditation is, the continuous flow of the thought, continuous like the pouring of oil from one bottle to another, unbroken. Okay, when you do that, you will feel an effect in your mind and your body. Okay? So that but it takes some time if you combine it with the law of attraction. So if you want to acquire the ability to meditate, find a picture of somebody meditating. When you and do the Soham mantra, which I talk about, see yourself meditating at the brow center, being able to sit still for a very long time, so still nothing moves. That will draw that effect to you faster. Okay, to summarize, the technique, the definition is to have one thought, nothing else, okay, and you repeat it over and over again, continuously, like a thread of oil dropping into a bottle. It is a single, continuous stream of thought. God bless you for trying that. Thank you.